Dear friends, have you ever felt the sting of family betrayal? In Miami's vibrant glow, Ephraim's hidden hotel ownership sparks a gripping family drama of forgiveness and legacy. Join his journey to mend broken bonds. Share your reconciliation stories below. Here's how it began. Miami's Ocean Drive pulsed under the humid glow of July 2025. Neon signs flickered, casting pink and blue hues across the pavement, while palm trees swayed their fronds, rustling in the salty breeze. In his sleek penthouse atop a luxury hotel, Ephraim Hayes, 58, stood alone, the city's glittering skyline framed by floor-to-ceiling windows. The air carried sea salt and wealth, but loneliness clung to him like a shadow heavy in the sterile silence of his modern suite. Ephraim's fingers traced the delicate links of a silver bracelet, a gift for his mother Estelle's birthday. Each glint caught the light, stirring memories of her smile. He hid his ownership of the hotel, a secret test of his family's loyalty, choosing a plain linen shirt and slacks to mask his wealth. The bracelet felt heavy in his hand, a fragile hope to mend a family fractured by decades of silence. Estelle loved silver, he murmured, voice low. Used to wear that old necklace every Sunday. Does she still 20 years? And I don't even know. His phone buzzed on the marble counter, a notification from his father Victor's social media, another post Ephraim couldn't bring himself to like. He ignored it, his chest tightening. Victor won't care about this gift, he said, pacing. Never cared about me. Always said I'd amount to nothing. The words stung, echoing a lifetime of dismissal. He tucked the bracelet into a velvet box, muttering, "One last chance, family. Show me you're worth this." With a final glance at the city's lights, he grabbed his jacket and headed for the elevator, whispering, "Tonight, I'll know where we stand." Sadness washed over Ephraim like a slow tide, his eyes heavy with regret for the rift with Victor. The penthouse's silence amplified his isolation, each sterile surface a reminder of the family he'd lost. His heart ached, unsure if Estelle would even accept his gift. Yet the bracelet tethered him to memories of her warmth, laughter, during long-ago beach picnics, a unity he yearned to restore. Standing by the window, he reflected on his role in their fracture. Pride had built this empire, but pushed Victor and Estelle away. Could he let go of old wounds to rebuild what was broken? His mind drifted to 1985, a sunlit Miami beach. At 18, he laughed as Estelle tossed a frisbee, her silver necklace catching the sun. Victor watched from the shade, scowling. "You'll never make it, Ephraim. Stop dreaming," he'd said, his voice sharp. The memory faded, leaving Ephraim alone, the bracelet his only link to that joy. He scrolled Victor's social media posts of family events he wasn't invited to. He typed a comment, then deleted it, the digital gap, unbridgeable a mirror to seniors' isolation, worsened by technology's complexity. Ephraim fumbled with his smartphone notifications, piling up emails alerts, Victor's posts. The screen's glow felt cold, overwhelming, a barrier to connection. He set it down, the bracelet, a simpler hope, but his isolation deepened. Miami's vibrant birthday parties pulsed below, seniors mingling in hotel lobbies, their laughter drifting up. The city's July energy music, neon seafood feasts, contrasted his solitude, a reminder of the community he'd yet to join. Staring at the bracelet, its silver links catching the city's lights, Ephraim whispered, "Did my pride cost me my family? Built this hotel but lost them. Can I fix this, or is it too late?" His voice trembled, a man facing his deepest regret. The elevator dinged, and he stepped inside the city. Fading as the doors closed, leaving one question unanswered. Would Victor acknowledge his effort at the birthday dinner, or would his scorn widen the rift? The hotel restaurant sparkled under Miami's July 2025 glow, its chandeliers casting golden light across polished tables. Tropical decor, lush ferns, and vibrant orchids framed the space where Miami's elite sipped wine, their chatter mingling with the clink of glasses. Estelle's birthday dinner unfolded the air thick with anticipation and the faint scent of seafood and citrus. Ephraim Hayes, 58, approached the entrance, his plain linen shirt a deliberate mask of his wealth, the silver bracelet for his mother tucked in a velvet box in his pocket. Victor, his father, stood like a gatekeeper, his weathered face set in a sneer. "Can't afford this, Ephraim," he said, voice sharp. "Don't embarrass us." Estelle, elegant at 78, hovered nearby, her eyes darting nervously. "Please don't make a scene," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the restaurant's hum. Ephraim's chest tightened, the familiar sting of rejection flaring, but before he could respond, the head waiter swept forward, bowing deeply. "Mr. Hayes, your table, sir," he announced, his voice warm with deference. The staff parted heads inclined, murmuring, "Owner." Victor's jaw dropped, his scorn morphing into disbelief. Estelle froze, her hand clutching her necklace. Ephraim, calm but resolute, said, "Let's eat, Dad," and brushed past his heart pounding. As he followed the waiter, Ephraim's fingers brushed a folded note in his pocket. Jonas's cryptic message slipped there unnoticed. Shock rippled through him, not from the staff's reveal, but from the note's weight hinting at secrets yet to unfold. Victor stammered behind him. "What's this nonsense?" But Ephraim kept walking the restaurant's glow, a stark contrast to the cold tension trailing him. Maribel, the security chief, caught his eye from across the room, her steady gaze urging him to speak openly. "Talk to them," she'd said earlier, her voice firm. "Family's worth it." The reveal of his ownership, a truth Ephraim had hidden to test their loyalty, ignited a spark of honesty, but it also fractured trust. The staff's bows felt hollow, his wealth a barrier rather than a bridge. Loneliness gnawed at him sharper now amid the crowd's murmurs. He recalled a failed video call to Estelle that morning, the screen freezing her face pixelated a digital wall he couldn't breach, mirroring seniors' struggles to connect in a tech-driven world. Miami's luxury dining thrived around him, seniors hosting lavish events, their laughter a cruel echo of his isolation. Ephraim's mind raced to the note Cher's secured Jonas had scrawled. A scheme perhaps lurking beneath the celebration. The words foreshadowed trouble, a puzzle Ephraim couldn't yet solve. Maribel's advice lingered, pushing him toward dialogue, but the note's mystery pulled him elsewhere. Truth hurts, he thought, gripping the velvet box, but lies destroy. What's the cost of this? His reflection in a mirrored wall showed a man caught between hope and fear, the bracelet, a silent plea for family. The table awaited set with crystal and silver, but the real question loomed. What was Jonas planning with that note? Miami's vibrant gala culture pulsed seniors proud of their legacies, yet Ephraim stood apart, his heart heavy with the truth's aftermath. Would this dinner mend their bonds, or would Jonas's secret unravel them further? Ephraim Hayes retreated to his glass-walled office, the hum of Miami's skyline a distant pulse beneath the July 2025 foyer. The city sparkled through floor-to-ceiling windows, a sea of neon lights stretching to the horizon. The air conditioning's soft drone drowned out the vibrant chaos of Ocean Drive below, leaving Ephraim alone with his thoughts. Papers cluttered his desk. the silver bracelet for Estelle, glinting under a lamp, a quiet anchor in the sterile space. His fingers hovered over his smartphone, scrolling through Victor's social media. A photo of Victor smiling at a family barbecue without Ephraim flashed on the screen. He typed a comment. "Missed you, Dad," then deleted it, the words too raw. Sadness gripped him, a heavy ache for the family he'd lost to decades of silence. He muttered Victor's smiling online, but not at me. Jonas, his brother-in-law, had deflected his questions at the dinner, his voice curt. "Not now, Ephraim. I'm handling things," Jonas had said, brushing past. Ephraim pressed. "Handling what? Talk to me," but Jonas left, snapping, "Family business, not yours." Digging through emails. Ephraim found a cryptic financial note, Jonas's name tied to a large transaction hinting at trouble. The bracelet on his desk caught the light, a symbol of lost bonds, its silver links a reminder of Estelle's warmth. Ephraim's compassion stirred, glimpsing Victor's insecurity behind the scorn. "He's hiding something," he whispered, journaling his pain, the pen scratching against paper. I pushed them away, too. My pride built this hotel, but what did it cost? Writing grounded him, a self-focused act to untangle his longing for connection. Loneliness gnawed deeper as he stared at the phone, hesitating to call Estelle. The fear of rejection loomed, a digital divide isolating him, a struggle shared by many seniors lost in technology's complexity. Notifications piled up, emails and alerts, overwhelming the screen's glow, a cold barrier. Ephraim set the device down, his isolation stark against Miami's vibrant nightlife below. Senior tech workshops buzzed in the city, offering lifelines he couldn't yet grasp, their chatter, a faint echo through the windows. His mind lingered on Jonas's email, a puzzle piece in a larger scheme. What's in his records? Ephraim wondered the question, a quiet cliffhanger. Miami's seafood feasts and neon-lit parties pulsed outside, seniors mingling in lobbies, their laughter a contrast to his solitude. The bracelet gleamed, tethering him to hope, but the financial note whispered betrayal. Ephraim's journal lay open, his words raw. Am I too late to bridge this gap? Is family worth the fight? The city's lights flickered, mirroring his uncertainty. Victor's online smile haunted him, a reminder of the distance between them. Jonas's deflection at the dinner replayed his nervous glance, a clue to secrets untold. Ephraim's heart ached, torn between compassion and suspicion, the bracelet his only anchor in a sea of doubt. Dawn crept over Miami's palm-lined streets, the humid July 2025 air thick with salt and the faint hum of a waking city. Neon signs dimmed their glow, yielding to soft light, filtering through the fronds. Ephraim Hayes, 58, walked alone. His footsteps echoing on the pavement, the silver bracelet for Estelle, heavy in his pocket. The vibrant pulse of Ocean Drive felt distant, his thoughts tangled in the sting of Victor's scorn and Jonas's cryptic note from the birthday dinner. Maribel Torres, the hotel's security chief, joined him near a quiet cafe, her dark eyes steady, but softened by her own grief. I lost my sister to pride, Ephraim, she said, her voice low. Don't lose your family. Ephraim's chest tightened. Victor doesn't want me, he replied, staring at the sidewalk. Maribel pressed, talk to him. It's worth it. Her words lingered as Ephraim later uncovered Jonas's financial records in his office numbers scrawled in haste, a scheme to sell hotel shares. Jonas, what are you doing? He muttered, shock mingling with sadness as Victor's harsh words echoed in his mind. The memory of Victor's voice cut deep, a wound reopened. In 1975, A teenage Ephraim stood in their cramped Miami apartment, dreaming of hotels. "You'll never make it," Victor had snapped his face hard. "Stop dreaming." The flashback faded, leaving Ephraim in the present, his pride a double-edged sword that built his empire but broke his family. Maribel's resilience, her quiet strength despite her loss, ignited a spark in him. "I can't give up," he thought, planning to confront Jonas, seeking clarity through dialogue. Loneliness clung to Ephraim, even amid Miami's morning bustle. Seniors shuffled toward community centers, their chatter a lifeline he hadn't yet grasped, their isolation a mirror to his own. Maribel's subplot deepened as she paused at her sister's old home, a faded bungalow nearby. Her fingers brushed the gate, her grief raw, fueling her plea to Ephraim. "I should have fought harder for her," she whispered her story, a quiet push for him to act. Ephraim's gaze fell to the bracelet, its silver links, a fragile hope. Miami's senior centers buzzed with life-offering connection he glimpsed, but couldn't yet reach. The city's seafood markets opened their briny scent, mingling with coffee from street vendors, a vibrant contrast to his inner turmoil. Jonas's records lay heavy in his hand, a betrayal unfolding. Will confronting him risk everything? He wondered the question, a cliffhanger hanging in the humid air. He leaned against a palm tree, journaling in his mind. "Pride built this hotel, but it broke us," he thought. "Can I let it go?" Maribel's words echoed, her loss a warning, her resilience a guide. The city stirred seniors heading to morning walks, their community a beacon Ephraim longed to join. Victor's long-ago scorn and Jonas's hidden scheme wove together, pushing Ephraim toward a choice dialogue, or distance family, or fracture. Miami's July 2025. Heat pressed against the windows of Ephraim Hayes' office, the hum of hotel activity a faint pulse below. Papers cluttered his desk, financial records casting long shadows under the desk lamp's glow. The silver bracelet for Estelle. His mother rested beside them, its delicate links catching the light, a quiet anchor amid the chaos. Outside, the city's skyline shimmered palm trees swaying in the humid breeze. But inside, Ephraim 58 sat gripped by a storm of betrayal. He sifted through Jonas's records, his brother-in-law's scrawled numbers revealing a staggering truth. Jonas owed $500,000 in gambling debts. Ephraim's breath caught, shock coursing through him like a current. Maribel Torres, the hotel's security chief, leaned against the doorframe, her voice steady. He leaned on Estelle Ephraim. "Made her question you?" Ephraim's eyes widened. "My own mother," he said, voice cracking. Maribel nodded. "She's torn. Talk to her." The words landed hard, Jonas's manipulation a knife in Ephraim's trust. 500,000, Ephraim muttered, staring at the figures. "Jonas? How?" His mind reeled, the weight of betrayal isolating him further. Honesty tugged at him. He debated exposing Jonas, the truth a double-edged sword. He glanced at the bracelet, its silver, a reminder of family grounding him in self-reflection. "I built this empire on trust," he thought. "But where's mine now?" Maribel's presence steadied him, her own loss, a sister, estranged by pride, lending weight to her advice. "You can fix this," she said, her gaze firm. Loneliness cloaked Ephraim, his wealth a hollow shield against the pain. The city buzzed outside seniors flocking to Miami's community centers, their connection a lifeline he couldn't grasp. His phone lay silent, emails piling up, Jonas's debt reports, misread in his haste, a tech struggle deepening his confusion. The screen's glow felt cold, a barrier to family, amplifying his isolation in a digital world. Jonas's nervous glance at the dinner flashed in Ephraim's mind, a subtle hint of worse to come. The records foreshadowed escalation, a scheme to sell hotel shares lurking beneath the numbers. Miami's gambling culture loomed, large slot machines and card tables a siren call for seniors facing financial strain. The city's vibrant markets opened below their briny scent, mingling with coffee, a lively contrast to Ephraim's turmoil. Ephraim's fingers brushed the bracelet, its links a fragile hope. "Can family survive lies?" he murmured, his voice raw. "Or does truth break us?" The question hung heavy, a cliffhanger in the humid air. Would he expose Jonas's debt and risk shattering their fragile bonds? Maribel's words echoed, urging dialogue, but the records demanded action. Seniors chatted in nearby cafes, their community a beacon Ephraim yearned for. Yet Jonas's betrayal pulled him toward confrontation. He leaned back, staring at the skyline. Trust built this hotel, he thought, but lies could tear it down. The bracelet gleamed, tethering him to Estelle, to hope. Miami's neon pulse flickered outside a city alive with second chances, but Ephraim's heart wavered, caught between honesty and the family he fought to save. The Miami Cafe buzzed under July 2025's neon glow, its open windows letting in the humid breeze and the faint pulse of Ocean Drive. Tables brimmed with chatter coffee, steaming in ceramic cups, but tension hung thick between Ephraim Hayes, 58, and Jonas Vega, his brother-in-law. Neon lights cast shadows across Jonas's haggard face, his eyes darting as Ephraim sat across from him. The silver bracelet for Estelle tucked in his pocket, a quiet reminder of family. Ephraim leaned forward, voice low. "You owe $500,000, Jonas. You dragged Estelle into this?" Jonas's hands trembled, gripping his cup. "Lost my brother 5 years ago, Ephraim," he said, voice cracking. "Gambled to forget. I'm drowning." Shock hit Ephraim like a wave, Jonas's desperation reshaping his anger. "You had no choice." Ephraim pressed his tone sharp, but wavering. Jonas nodded, eyes wet. "I had no choice. Please don't tell." Ephraim exhaled, torn. "I need time," he said, the weight of the secret heavy. The cafe's warmth clashed with Ephraim's inner chill, Jonas's trauma, a stark contrast to his betrayal. Compassion stirred in Ephraim, seeing a broken man, not just a schemer. He's hurting. Ephraim, thought, fingers brushing the bracelet in his pocket, its links a symbol of hope. Dialogue was his lifeline. He probed Jonas's motives, seeking clarity, but the truth cut deeper. "You twisted Mom's trust," Ephraim said, voice steady. Jonas looked away, shame etched in his slumped shoulders. Loneliness gnawed at Ephraim, the secret isolating him further. Outside Miami's seniors filled cafes, their laughter a lifeline he couldn't reach. Estelle's guilt grew her silence, enabling Jonas a subplot simmering in Ephraim's mind. He recalled her nervous glance at the dinner, her whispered plea to avoid a scene. She's trapped too, he thought, the bracelet a tether to her warmth, urging him to save their bond. Jonas's confession hinted at worse to come, his trembling hands a subtle foreshadowing of escalation. Miami's vibrant cafe culture pulsed around them, seniors sharing stories, their community a contrast to Ephraim's turmoil. The city's slot machines and card tables loomed a dark undercurrent for those like Jonas, desperate and debt-ridden. The air carried salt and espresso, grounding Ephraim in the moment, but his heart raced. "Empathy or justice?" Ephraim murmured, staring at his coffee. "Can I forgive a broken man?" The question lingered, a cliffhanger. What would Jonas do next to protect his secret? The bracelet's weight in his pocket anchored him, a fragile hope amid betrayal. Seniors laughed nearby, their chatter, a beacon of connection Ephraim craved. He leaned back, the neon lights flickering, mirroring his wavering resolve. Ephraim's gaze drifted to the street where Miami's July energy music, seafood, and neon thrived. Estelle's face flashed in his mind, her trust manipulated by Jonas's lies. Families worth fighting for, he thought Maribel's words echoing. But Jonas's plea, raw and ragged, complicated the fight. The cafe's hum faded, leaving Ephraim with a choice: shield Jonas's pain or expose his scheme, risking the family he longed to rebuild. Darkness cloaked Ephraim Hayes' penthouse. Miami's skyline, a distant glow beyond the glass walls in July 2025. The hum of the city faded, leaving only the soft scratch of his pen against a leather-bound journal. The silver bracelet for Estelle rested beside it, its links catching the desk lamp's light, a beacon in the sterile quiet. Ephraim, 58, sat hunched, his face etched with grief. The weight of Jonas's confession and Victor's lifelong rejection pressing down. He wrote, "Victor called me nothing." Still stings his tears, smudging the ink. Sadness gripped him, a deep ache for the family torn apart by decades of silence. His mind drifted to 1980, a cramped Miami apartment where a 13-year-old Ephraim sketched hotel plans. Victor's voice had cut through, harsh and final. "You're wasting time, boy. You'll fail." The flashback faded, leaving Ephraim trembling, his pride a scar from those words. He murmured, "He broke me then, but I'm still here." Maribel Torres's voice broke the silence, her call crackling through the phone. "Join us, Ephraim," she urged. "The charity dinner's for seniors. It'll help." Ephraim's voice cracked. "I'm not ready, Maribel." She persisted. "You are. Come heal." Her words, rooted in her own loss, sparked resilience in him. Journaling became his refuge, each word peeling back layers of pride. "I built this hotel to prove him wrong," he wrote. "But it cost me family. Can I fix it?" The act grounded him, a self-focused path to healing. Loneliness loomed sharper in the penthouse's silence. Ephraim's phone lay untouched, Estelle's number glowing on the screen, but fear of rejection stopped him. The digital divide isolated him, a struggle shared by seniors lost in technology's maze. His hesitation deepened his isolation, the city's pulse a cruel contrast. Miami's senior charity events buzzed below their warmth, a lifeline he couldn't grasp, the humid night air carrying faint music and laughter. Maribel's plan for the dinner hinted at hope, a step toward community. But Ephraim's heart lingered on Victor's scorn and Jonas's debts. Will I attend? He wondered the question, a cliffhanger in the quiet. Miami's vibrant July unfolded outside seafood feasts, neon lights, seniors mingling in lobbies, a world of connection he stood apart from. The bracelet gleamed a tether to Estelle's warmth, urging him forward. Ephraim's journal filled with raw truths. Forgiveness might free me, but can I face the pain? Victor's long-ago words echoed a wound unhealed. Jonas's desperate plea replayed, complicating his resolve. The city's skyline flickered, mirroring his turmoil. I'm alone, he wrote, but Maribel's right. Healing starts somewhere. The bracelet's light caught his eye, a fragile hope. Seniors laughed in distant cafes, their community a beacon Ephraim yearned to join, but the dinner loomed a test of his courage to mend what pride had broken. The hotel ballroom glowed under Miami's July 2025. Its chandeliers casting golden light over tables adorned with tropical flowers, vibrant orchids, and lush ferns. Maribel Torres's charity dinner for seniors buzzed with life laughter, rising like a warm tide. Ephraim Hayes, 58, stood at the edge, the silver bracelet for Estelle in his pocket, its weight a quiet reminder of his fractured family. Outside Ocean Drive pulsed neon signs flickering the humid air thick with salt and music. Maribel took the podium, her voice clear and strong. "We're family here, Miami. Let's lift each other." Her words, born of her own loss, stirred Ephraim's heart. Empathy welled within him, the room's unity, softening his anger toward Jonas and Victor. A guest clapped, calling out, "Great speech." Maribel Ephraim nodded, murmuring, "She's right. Community matters." But as he moved through the crowd, he overheard Jonas on a hushed call, his voice low and urgent. "The buyer's ready. We move soon." Ephraim froze, his pulse racing. "Selling my hotel?" he whispered, shock rippling through him. The community spirit of the dinner seniors sharing stories, their smiles bright, clashed with Jonas's betrayal. Maribel's speech inspired Ephraim to confront Jonas, her call for unity, a push toward dialogue. "I'll stop him," he thought, resolve hardening. The bracelet's links pressed against his thigh, a symbol of hope tethering him to Estelle's warmth. Miami's diverse charity scene thrived around him, seniors leading with pride, their laughter a beacon of connection Ephraim craved but couldn't fully grasp. Loneliness lingered even amid the crowd's warmth. Ephraim's phone buzzed with Jonas's emails tracked earlier on his laptop, a tech struggle overcome, yet isolating in its secrecy. The digital trail confirmed Jonas's scheme, a subplot escalating with each encrypted message. "He's moving fast." Ephraim thought the buyer's name a shadow in the data. Miami's vibrant July unfolded outside seafood feasts, neon lights, seniors mingling a contrast to his inner turmoil. Jonas's whispered call hinted at worse to come, a subtle foreshadowing of his next move. Will his plan succeed? Ephraim wondered the question, a cliffhanger in the humid air. The city's slot machines and card tables loomed a dark undercurrent for Jonas's debts. Ephraim leaned against a pillar, Maribel's words echoing lift each other. A guest's cheer broke through. "You've given us hope." Maribel Ephraim's gaze drifted to the flowers, their vibrancy a mirror to the community he longed to join. Community heals what family breaks, he thought, fingers brushing the bracelet. Can I build both? The dinner's glow wrapped around him, seniors sharing stories of resilience, their voices a lifeline. Jonas's plot loomed a threat to Ephraim's legacy, but Maribel's speech fueled his fight. The city's pulse carried on neon, and salt air mingling a world of second chances. Ephraim straightened, ready to face Jonas, the bracelet a quiet vow to save his family and claim his place in Miami's heart. Dawn's soft light bathed Miami's hotel in July 2025. The streets quiet, save for the rustle of palm fronds in the humid breeze. Ephraim Hayes, 58, approached the glass doors, his footsteps echoing the silver bracelet for Estelle, a steady weight in his pocket. The city's neon pulse had faded, leaving a serene glow, but tension gripped Ephraim Jonas's whispered plot from the charity dinner echoing in his mind. Jonas stood at the entrance, his face hard. "You're done, Ephraim," he said, voice low and sharp. "I'll ruin you." The doors locked with a click, Jonas's keycard flashing, barring Ephraim from his own hotel. Shock surged through Ephraim, betrayal cutting like a blade. "This is my hotel, Jonas," he said, his voice steady but tight. Maribel Torres, the security chief, appeared from the shadows, her gaze fierce. "We've got proof, Ephraim. Stay strong," she said, handing him a flash drive of Jonas's emails. Ephraim nodded, resolve hardening. "I won't lose my family," he said, clutching the drive. Resilience burned in Ephraim Jonas's threat, a spark igniting his fight. The bracelet's links pressed against him, a symbol of hope, fueling his determination to reclaim his legacy. He channeled strength through self-focus, his purpose clear despite the lockout. "I built this from nothing," he thought, "and I'll take it back." Maribel's support bolstered him her own loss, an estranged sister lending weight to her loyalty. "We'll get you in," she whispered, her hand on his shoulder. Loneliness clawed at Ephraim, the locked doors a stark reminder of his isolation. Even in Miami's vibrant July, with seniors heading to morning walks and community centers, he stood apart, his empire at risk. Maribel's subplot deepened her grief for her sister, driving her to protect Ephraim. "I failed her." She'd set her voice raw, making her stand with him a quiet redemption. Jonas's lockout hinted at escalation, his threat to expose Ephraim's past mistakes, a dark foreshadowing. Miami's hotel security tightened seniors resilient in the face of crisis, their chatter a distant hum. The city's seafood markets stirred briny scents mingling with dawn's freshness, a contrast to Ephraim's turmoil. Can I regain control? He wondered the question, a cliffhanger in the quiet air. Ephraim leaned against a palm tree, the flash drive heavy in his hand. Truth's cost is high, he thought, but silence costs more. I'll fight. The bracelet gleamed in his mind, a vow to save Estelle and Victor. Miami's dawn unfolded seniors sharing stories in nearby cafes, their community a beacon Ephraim longed for. Jonas's scheme loomed a threat to his legacy, but Maribel's proof gave him hope. The city's pulse stirred neon signs dormant, a world of second chances waiting. Ephraim straightened, ready to confront Jonas, the bracelet his anchor in a storm of betrayal. Estelle Hayes' Miami home glowed softly under the July 2025 sun, palm trees swaying gently outside her modest bungalow. Inside, faded photos lined the walls, capturing beach days and birthdays long past their warmth, a stark contrast to the tension in the air. Ephraim Hayes, 58. Sat across from his mother, the silver bracelet for her birthday resting in his pocket, its weight a quiet tether to hope. The hum of the city drifted through open windows, carrying the scent of salt and jasmine. Estelle's hands trembled as she spoke, her voice low. "Jonas scared me, Ephraim. I doubted you." Ephraim's chest tightened, empathy welling for her guilt. "Mom, why didn't you tell me?" he asked, his tone soft but urgent. Her eyes glistened. "I wanted peace," she said, looking away. Ephraim reached out his hand, steady. "We'll fix this together." Digging through a drawer, he found a key contract proving his ownership of the hotel, its crisp pages a lifeline against Jonas's scheme. The discovery steadied him a step toward reclaiming his legacy. Compassion guided Ephraim, seeing Estelle's fear rather than her silence. She's trapped. He thought the bracelet a symbol of their bond, urging him to protect her. Dialogue became their bridge. Open talk cleared mistrust, each word rebuilding trust. "I hid the truth too," Ephraim admitted, his voice raw. "I'm sorry." Estelle nodded, a tear falling. "I trust you, son," she whispered, their connection rekindling. A memory surfaced, vivid and warm, 1978. A young Ephraim crying after Victor's anger. Estelle's arms around him, her voice soothing. "You're enough," she'd said, her silver necklace glinting. The flashback faded, leaving Ephraim grounded in their renewed bond. Loneliness lingered, though sharpened by a failed call to Estelle the night before, his phone's silence a digital barrier. His heart ached, the city's vibrant July family gatherings, seafood feasts a contrast to his inner struggle. Estelle's guilt over enabling Jonas deepened her isolation, a subplot weaving through Ephraim's thoughts. She's been alone in this. He realized her nervous glance at the dinner, replaying. The contract's weight hinted at confrontation, a cliffhanger looming. Would Ephraim use it to stop Jonas Miami's family traditions pulsed outside seniors hosting barbecues, their chatter a beacon of connection Ephraim craved? Ephraim leaned back, the contract in hand. Family matters more than wealth. He thought the bracelet's links a vow to save their bond. Can I save both? Miami's palm trees rustled the city alive with second chances. Estelle's photos smiled down a reminder of better days. Jonas's manipulation loomed, but dialogue with Estelle gave Ephraim strength. The bungalow's warmth wrapped around them a fragile hope taking root in a city of neon and salt where family could still be rebuilt. The hotel garden bloomed under Miami's July 2025 sunset, its vibrant hibiscus and jasmine glowing in the fading light. A soft breeze carried the scent of salt and flowers rustling the palm trees that framed the quiet space. Ephraim Hayes, 58, sat with his mother Estelle on a wrought iron bench, the silver bracelet for her birthday resting on the table between them, its links catching the dusk's golden hue. The city's neon pulse felt distant, the garden a haven for their fragile reunion. Ephraim's voice was steady but raw. I hid the truth, Mom. I'm sorry. Estelle's eyes glistened, her hands clasped tightly. Jonas twisted my fears, Ephraim. I failed you, she said, her voice trembling. Empathy surged in Ephraim, her guilt a mirror to his own regrets. We're here now, he said, reaching for her hand. Let's heal. Estelle nodded, tears falling. I trust you, son. Their open dialogue cleared the mistrust that had festered, each word a step toward mending their bond. She revealed Jonas's full pressure threats to expose family secrets if she didn't comply, a confession that deepened Ephraim's resolve. Honesty anchored their talk, the truth, strengthening their connection like the bracelet's interwoven links, a symbol of hope glinting in the twilight. Ephraim's heart ached for Estelle's pain, her isolation under Jonas's manipulation, a weight he now shared. We'll face him together, he promised, his voice firm. The garden's serenity wrapped around them, dialogue a bridge to reconciliation, rebuilding what pride and lies had torn apart. Loneliness lingered, though a shadow in Ephraim's chest. He feared losing Estelle again, the thought sharpening his resolve. Estelle's guilt had isolated her, a subplot woven through her trembling hands and downcast eyes. I kept quiet to protect us, she whispered, her voice breaking. Ephraim saw her solitude a mirror to his own nights staring at Victor's unreachable social media posts. Miami's garden settings buzzed with senior gatherings, their chatter a faint hum beyond the hedges, a cultural pulse of connection Ephraim yearned for. The city's July vibrancy, seafood feasts, neon lights contrasted their quiet talk, yet fueled his hope. A guest's laughter drifted over, a reminder of the community waiting. The bracelet gleamed, a vow to save their family. Ephraim's mind flashed to Jonas's threats, the contract in his pocket, a weapon he might wield. Will I confront him? He wondered, the question a cliffhanger in the humid air. Estelle's hand in his grounded him, her trust a fragile gift. Dialogue heals what silence broke, he thought, leaning back. We're family again. The garden's flowers swayed, Miami's sunset painting a second chance, but Jonas's shadow loomed, a test of their newfound unity. The hotel ballroom dazzled under Miami's July 2025 night, its glass walls framing the city's neon skyline. Chandeliers cast golden light over Estelle's birthday gala, where guests in elegant attire sipped champagne, their murmurs blending with soft jazz. Tropical flowers adorned tables, their scent mingling with sea salt, drifting through open windows. Ephraim Hayes, 58, stood at the room's center. The silver bracelet for Estelle in his pocket, the contract proving his hotel ownership clutched in his hand. Ephraim raised his voice, steady but firm. "Jonas planned to sell my hotel. Here's proof." He held up the contract, its pages stark under the lights. Guests gasped, shock rippling through the crowd. Jonas, pale, stammered, "I was desperate." Ephraim's gaze shifted to Victor, his father, whose face crumpled. "I pushed you away," Victor said, voice breaking. "I was scared." Ephraim knotted his throat tight. "We end this now." The truth restored trust, a positive justice that silenced the room's murmurs. Dialogue anchored Ephraim's stand. His words to the crowd, a call for unity against Jonas's lies. "We're family," he said, "and truth holds us together." Victor's confession, foreshadowed by his nervous glances at the dinner, bared his insecurity, a lifetime of fear that Ephraim would outshine him. "I was wrong," Victor whispered, stepping forward, his eyes wet. The admission, raw and unexpected, softened Ephraim's anger, planting seeds of reconciliation. Loneliness faded, as Ephraim felt validated the crowd's stunned silence, a balm to his isolation. Maribel Torres, the security chief, stood nearby, her fierce nod rallying the staff, her support, a subplot strengthening Ephraim's resolve. "You've got this," she'd said earlier, her own loss fueling her loyalty. The staff's unity mirrored Miami's vibrant gala culture. Seniors proud of their legacies, their chatter a hum beyond the ballroom. Jonas's scheme, whispered at the charity dinner, had unraveled, his desperation exposed. Will Victor reconcile fully? Ephraim wondered the question, a cliffhanger amid the gala's glow. The city's July pulse, seafood feasts, neon lights, framed the moment, a world of second chances. Ephraim's fingers brushed the bracelet, a symbol of hope, tethering him to Estelle's warmth. Justice isn't revenge. Ephraim thought, his gaze sweeping the room. It's truth setting us free. The contract's weight grounded him, a victory not over Jonas, but for family. Maribel's staff flanked him, their loyalty a beacon of community. Guests whispered, some nodding, others stunned, as Victor's confession hung in the air. Miami's skyline glittered, a city alive with possibility, but Ephraim's heart focused on Victor's trembling hand, a fragile bridge to healing. The hotel lounge glowed softly under Miami's July 2025 breeze, open windows, letting in the rustle of palm trees and the faint hum of Ocean Drive. Candlelight flickered across a small table where Ephraim Hayes, 58, and his mother Estelle planned a private birthday celebration, a contrast to the gala's chaos. The silver bracelet now on Estelle's wrist gleamed, its links a quiet vow of unity. The air carried salt and jasmine, wrapping them in a fragile peace. Ephraim's voice trembled, tears falling. "I forgive you, Mom. We're family." Estelle's eyes shimmered, her hand clasping his. "I'm so sorry, Ephraim," she whispered, voice breaking. Victor. His father stood at the lounge's edge, his face softened by regret. "I was wrong, son," he said, stepping forward. "Can we try again?" Ephraim nodded, his throat tight. "Yes, Dad. Let's start over." Hope surged their bonds, mending tears of relief, sealing their reunion. Forgiveness freed Ephraim's pain, the bracelet, a symbol of their renewed connection, its glow mirroring the warmth in Estelle's smile. Reconciliation took root as they planned a quiet celebration, laughter mingling with tears. "We'll make new memories," Ephraim said, his voice steady. The lounge's intimacy fostered healing, a stark contrast to Jonas's betrayal, now a fading shadow. A memory surfaced, vivid and warm, 1980. A Miami beach, where Ephraim, Estelle, and Victor laughed over a picnic, the sun glinting off Estelle's silver necklace. Their joy unbroken then echoed in the present, grounding Ephraim's hope. Loneliness dissolved his heart, full of connection. Maribel Torres's subplot wove through her reconnection with her estranged sister, mirroring Ephraim's triumph. I called her Maribel had set her smile bright at the gala, her hope a beacon. Miami's intimate family events pulsed outside seniors, hosting quiet dinners, their chatter a cultural hum of resilience. The city's July vibrancy, neon lights, seafood feasts, framed their reunion a world of second chances. Will this new birthday succeed? Ephraim wondered, a gentle cliffhanger in the warm air. The bracelet's links caught the candlelight, a vow to endure. Forgiveness is my legacy, Ephraim thought, leaning back, Estelle's hand in his. It binds us forever. Victor's humbled presence, once a source of pain, now offered peace. Maribel's arc, complete with her sister's call, echoed their renewal. Miami's skyline glittered beyond the windows, a city alive with possibility. The lounge's glow wrapped them, laughter rising, a family reborn in tears, and hope ready to face tomorrow together. Miami's July 2025 sun bathed the new senior center in golden light, its white walls gleaming amid swaying palm trees. Laughter spilled from the opening event, where seniors mingled their chatter, blending with the clink of glasses and the scent of tropical flowers. Ephraim Hayes, 58, stood at the entrance. The silver bracelet for Estelle, now a keepsake of their mended bond, its memory anchoring him. The city's vibrant, pulse neon signs, dormant seafood markets humming, framed a community thriving with second chances. Ephraim addressed the crowd, his voice warm. "This center's for us, Miami's seniors." A guest cheered. "You've given us a home, Ephraim." Maribel Torres, the security chief, grinned nearby. "Keep shining, boss," she said. Ephraim laughed. "Together, we're unstoppable." The banter sparked hope, the crowd's joy a testament to community spirit. But across the lot, Jonas Vega stood alone, his face etched with regret, isolated by his greed-driven scheme to sell the hotel, now exposed and failed. Ephraim's gift to Miami, funding the center, lifted spirits, his reconciliation with Estelle and Victor, inspiring his generosity. We rise by giving, he thought, the bracelet's memory, a symbol of unity, its links echoing the crowd's shared smiles. Reconciliation extended beyond family. Ephraim's support fostering bonds among seniors, their laughter a balm to past pain. Estelle's subplot deepened as she volunteered at the center, her warm smile greeting guests. "This feels right," she said, finding purpose, her guilt over Jonas fading. Loneliness, once a shadow, dissolved as seniors connected their stories, weaving a tapestry of resilience. Miami's senior centers pulsed with life, their vibrant recovery a cultural heartbeat. The city's July energy barbecues, neon nights, amplified the event's glow, a world of renewal. Will I find lasting peace? Ephraim wondered, a quiet cliffhanger amid the laughter. Jonas's isolation contrasted the crowd's warmth, his reflection on greed a bitter lesson. "I lost everything," he muttered, his voice lost in the breeze. Ephraim's gaze lingered on him, pity softening his resolve. Giving heals more than taking, he thought the center's opening a legacy beyond his hotel. Estelle's laughter rang out, her volunteering a quiet triumph. Maribel clapped a guest's shoulder, her own reconnection with her sister, complete her joy mirroring the crowd's. The center's entrance held a plaque, the bracelet's memory etched in Ephraim's heart. Miami's skyline loomed a city of possibility, its salt air mingling with flower scents. Seniors danced nearby, their steps. Light a community reborn. Ephraim leaned against a palm tree, the crowd's banter wrapping him in warmth. This is home. He thought his legacy secure, a beacon for Miami's seniors to find connection and hope. The rooftop garden of Ephraim Hayes' hotel sparkled under Miami's July 2025 stars, the city's neon skyline a glittering backdrop. A small table held candles, their flames dancing in the warm breeze, casting light on Estelle's silver bracelet, now a cherished keepsake on the table. Ephraim, 58, sat with his mother Estelle, their laughter mingling with the rustle of palm trees and the faint hum of Ocean Drive below. The air carried salt and jasmine, wrapping them in a quiet, joyful peace. Ephraim opened his journal, his voice steady. "We're whole again, Mom." Estelle's eyes shone, her hand touching his. "You brought us back." "Son," she said, her smile warm. Victor, his father, joined them, his face softened by humility. "I'm proud of you, Ephraim," he said, voice low but earnest. Ephraim nodded, tears welling. "Family is my legacy now." Hope enveloped them, their healed bonds a triumph, their laughter a promise of tomorrow. Resilience defined Ephraim's journey, rebuilding family from pride's ruins. Journaling sealed his arc, each word a self-focused reflection grounding him. "I fought for this." He wrote the bracelet's links, a symbol of endurance tying past pain to present joy. The rooftop's intimacy fostered their unity, a contrast to Jonas's faded betrayal. Estelle's warmth, Victor's humbled presence, and Ephraim's peace wove a new legacy stronger than his hotel's glass towers. A memory surfaced, 1985. A Miami Beach picnic where Ephraim, Estelle, and Victor laughed, the sun glinting off Estelle's necklace. That joy echoed now, their reunion complete. Loneliness, once a shadow, vanished, Ephraim's heart full. Maribel Torres's subplot closed her reconnection with her sister, a mirror to Ephraim's triumph. She answered Maribel had said, her voice bright, her hope a beacon at the senior center's opening. Miami's family traditions thrived below seniors, hosting quiet dinners, their chatter a cultural pulse of joy. The city's July vibrancy, neon lights, seafood feasts, framed their celebration, a world of renewal. No cliffhanger lingered. Their resolution was sealed, the bracelet's glow a final vow. Ephraim's journal lay open, his words clear. "Family is my legacy, worth every fight." The stars glittered Miami's skyline, alive with possibility. Estelle's laughter rang, Victor's smile a quiet gift. Ephraim leaned back, the bracelet catching candlelight, a symbol of their enduring bond. This is enough, he thought, his peace complete. Maribel's joy, Estelle's warmth, and Victor's pride wrapped him in a new home. The city's salt air carried their laughter, a family reborn, their legacy, etched in love and resilience under Miami's endless stars. The rooftop garden of Ephraim Hayes' hotel bloomed under Miami's July 2025 stars, their twinkle mirrored in the calm Atlantic beyond. Candles flickered on a small table, casting a warm glow over Estelle's silver bracelet, now a cherished keepsake, resting between plates of key lime pie. Ephraim, 58, leaned back in his chair, his laughter mingling with the rustle of palm trees and the faint salsa beat drifting from Ocean Drive below. Estelle, 78, sat beside him, her smile radiant, her hand brushing his. Victor, 80, joined them, his once hard face, softened eyes glistening as he raised a glass of iced tea. The air carried salt and jasmine, wrapping the Hayes family in a quiet, joyful peace. Ephraim's journal lay open, his voice steady as he spoke. "We're whole again, Mom." Estelle squeezed his hand, her voice warm. "You brought us back, son." Victor cleared his throat, his tone humble. "I'm proud of you, Ephraim. I was wrong for too long." Ephraim's eyes welled a tear, tracing his cheek. "Family's my legacy now," he said, their clinking glasses sealing the moment. The rift decades of Victor's scorn, Jonas's betrayal, and Estelle's doubt dissolved in their shared laughter tears, mixing with the pie's tart sweetness. Ephraim's pride, once a wall, crumbled under forgiveness, his gift of a senior center to Miami, a testament to his growth. Estelle's volunteering and Victor's quiet apologies wove their bond tighter, a family reborn under the stars. Forgiveness anchored their reunion, resilience shining in Ephraim's journey from isolation to love. The bracelet's links, glinting in candlelight, symbolized their enduring unity, a legacy stronger than Ephraim's hotel empire. Miami's vibrant July neon lights, seafood feasts, seniors hosting rooftop gatherings, framed their closure, a cultural pulse of connection. The city's salt air carried their laughter, a beacon for others seeking healing. The narrator's voice, warm and weathered, broke through, rich with gratitude. "Folks, the Hayes family found their way home through forgiveness, a light in the dark. Thank you for sharing their story, for feeling their pain and joy. It means the world to us." He paused, his tone inviting like a friend over coffee. If this touched you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of heart and hope. Drop a comment, share your own tales of mending family ties or finding peace. Let's build a community where seniors like us swap stories that matter. Your voice counts. The stars glittered, Miami's skyline alive with possibility. Ephraim's journal closed, his final words clear. "Family is my legacy." Estelle's hand rested on his Victor's smile, a quiet gift. The rooftop garden held them close, their laughter a vow to endure, a family whole in a city of second chances.